Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope all is well on your side of the screen. If you're just joining me for the first time, definitely make sure you go ahead and subscribe, as this is a new show we're checking out. I'm gonna see how I like the flow. You know, if you guys are watching and you're engaging on this particular review, then I will keep it going. This is something I'm trying in the mix, because I was a Jersey Shore fan back in the days, especially in the earlier days, and then like as it started going along, I started kind of getting a little tired of it towards probably the end, and I don't really watch the reunions or anything like that, to be honest with you guys. But this was something new, and like I said, I was like, you know what, let's see how you guys like this stuff. So this is Buckhead Shore, season 1, episode 1, and they also had episode 2, but I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and review that separately. So that will be coming up next. But right now we're kind of getting acquainted with all of the different people that are on this show. So we have Parker, he's the main one. He is the owner of the Lakehouse. Well, his family owns the Lakehouse. They have tons of money and they own like a chicken chain. So they're pretty wealthy. He's good with all that stuff as far as it comes to money. And he's having all of his closest friends come for the summer. Next we meet Bethania. I think her name was Bethania. And she's close friends with Parker. She says she knew him since she was 15 years old. And she's like a little bit, like she's more of a not so likes to have casual sex type of person, she says. But then like later in the show, she mentioned that she had sex with this other dude and they weren't dating or anything like that. But she said she kind of got turned off because he was doing it with other people, but she would also do it again. So I kind of felt like she contradicted herself a little bit when she was talking. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to see how she is from just my first appearance or initial, like, you know, her talking and stuff. I kind of felt like she was a little bit of a troublemaker, but we'll kind of see. Then we met DJ. His father's a recording artist, and that's the one that I was just talking about. She actually likes him. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Bethania is Ethiopian and Jamaican, which I thought it was a cool little blend. She also had mentioned that she's French, so I'm assuming that she means that she speaks French, because maybe perhaps her Ethiopian roots, I'm guessing, or you know, maybe there's some type of background as far as like the French. I'm not too familiar with what language Ethiopians speak or anything like that, but I do know it's obviously, if I remember correctly, I believe it's a part of Africa. And if I'm wrong, then oops, I'm sorry. Now, so like I was saying, back to DJ. So him and her, they kind of like had a little thing not too long ago, but it's nothing real serious. His father tries to instill in him that he needs to really get focused because he wants to be a songwriter, I guess kind of following in his father's footsteps, but he's more so been like, you know, on the fun thing, and he got to really get cracking if he wants to make something and make a name for himself, not just riding off of who your father was. So Parker's ex, her name is Katie. She's a pretty little blonde thing. She's cute. And she was invited as well to this whole soiree. And yes, she did show up. And they have a little bit of beef because his kind of girl that he's with now, or that he's dating, her name is Savannah. She's part of the friend group too. She didn't show up initially because she was having car trouble, but it's like a whole messy situation. So I think he cheated on Katie to be with Savannah, and then he cheated on Savannah, I'm assuming, with Katie, unless she just lied about it, because as of this end of this episode, Katie had said that she had messaged Savannah and told her that she had recently had sex with Parker. So I don't know if she was doing that to like stir the pot up, get into her head, or if it actually happened, because they didn't really go too much further into details or anything like that. Another chick that we have is Chelsea. She also arrives at the Lakehouse, but she's with Katie, Bethania, and another guy named Adamo. And she seems like a fun girl. She seems like she's down for whatever. Party girl, probably gets really fun and exciting one of the lives of the party, especially when she's drunk. That's the kind of, image she was putting out to me, the kind of energy I was getting from her. Then we have Juju. His father works in Magic City, or he's the founder. He opened up Magic City. So Juju calls himself the king of stripper chicks. Like, whatever, dude. But he seems like really flirtatious. He's just always making sexual innuendos. And just like, I don't know, like sometimes that could be fun to lighten up the mood. But like sometimes it could also be too much, or it could be annoying, or it could be like, I'm not in the mood to like play around with you. So I know like his type of vibe would get old for me real soon. Like to the point where I'm probably suppressing how I actually feel, because I'm like, that's gonna mess up everything, you know what I mean? But when it gets to that point where it's too much, it's just like explode time. Like, yo, like just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when it's like everything that I've been thinking is just gonna blurt out there and just come out, and I don't care how it sounds. Maybe I'll feel a little remorse after, but initially it's just like, let it rip, okay? There was another guy that was there. He had a hat on. I don't remember hearing his name. I think they said Pret one time, but I'm not really too sure. I feel like either I zoned out at that moment, or I don't think they even said much of his story. Like I said, either I just got distracted by something else and I didn't want to rewind. I did rewind a few little parts here and there, but I like to like just keep it flowing if I catch everything. But I wasn't too sure. I didn't really feel like I know much about him, the guy with the hat on. So that was that as far as that guy. So yeah, when they all reunited, it was a little bit awkward because Katie and Parker, obviously, it's like they haven't seen each other in a while. And the one member of the group that he said that he felt a little weird about not being there was Savannah. And luckily, later on in the show, Bethania, I'm gonna get it right, y'all. I'm gonna get it right. She was able to speak to Savannah and convince her to allow Parker to get her an Uber, which would be 2 hours long, and make her way over there. I mean, money is nothing for him. He got it like that, so why not, And yeah, it's about to definitely get a little bit of drama. They did decide to get a little bit of stuff going on. They played a game of Truth or Dare, and they dared DJ to take some body shots off of Chelsea. He did that, but then he also proceeded to give her a kiss. And what's her name? Bethania, she was definitely a little bit jealous about that because, like I said, they did hook up at one point, and she's kind of open to the idea of doing it again. And she's like, this is exactly the reason why, she kind of fell off from him, because of him doing stuff like that. She's like, I want him to do this to me, not her. Like, what are you doing? So she was definitely a little jelly at that moment. And DJ had the nerve to stir the pot and ask, oh, Parker, truth or dare? Like, dare. No, he said truth or whatever. And he's like, oh, who do you miss more? Like, do you miss anybody? Do you miss, like, Savannah or Katie? And he had to say the names, of course. So that put Parker in an awkward situation. But he's like, of course I miss Savannah because she's not here right now. And I'm also happy that Katie was able to come. Like, he said, like, a very politically correct response, that wouldn't really get him into any kind of trouble or backlash or anything like that, which was good. Katie and Adamo, they were playing like stupid games. I mean, they were just it seemed like they were just trying to entice Parker and see if they could get him to like be like fiending over her. She was like with her little cute little bathing suit on, just walking back and forth, letting him see the cheeks and, what he could be having. But he's trying to be good because he knows that Savannah might just be coming and this would make everything even worse. And then he would literally have no chance because everybody would be a witness if he was to do something with Katie. So yeah, that definitely would not be a good situation. They all did go into the hot tub, but he didn't really feel comfortable being in the hot tub while Katie was in there. It looked like he was getting a little aroused or whatever. So he ended up leaving out of the hot tub when all the other girls came in. And then he kind of like messed it up because Chelsea was actually chilling in the hot tub. She looked like she was having a good time. And then he throws his dog in there, which is like super gross. You're like literally in the same bath water with a dog. And she was like chilling in there for a little while before she finally got out. And she was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go take a shower. But the next day she was saying that she was feeling some stuff going on down there. Like, I'm thinking maybe she got a yeast infection. She was saying that she got a UTI, but it didn't really, I mean, she didn't really say all her symptoms that she was having. She just said that it felt weird down there. And a lot of times with the UTI, from my knowledge of medical stuff, because yeah, I've done things related to the medical field, a few different occupations in the medical field. And UTI, you usually would feel pain in your stomach and things like that. And then she proceeded to go ahead and still be drinking, like, I think she was drinking tequila or something like that, talking about she wants to keep it natural and like organic and no sugar. Dude, you're still doing the wrong things, because if you have a UTI, this is going through your kidneys, and you need to be drinking more natural, real liquids, not with alcohol, not pure alcohol that's going through there to make everything worse. Like, you should be drinking a shitload of water and perhaps cranberry juice, but like not that ocean spray, like some real organic cranberry juice and things like that in order to flush out your system. She was doing it all wrong. But I kind of feel like she probably has like a yeast infection or something, because, that could really, having a dog in the water with you and all that stuff is going up in there, like it could definitely throw off your pH balance and things like that. So I'm more so thinking it's probably that, but we'll see, I guess, in the next episode. So yeah, it looks like I said, a little secret that everybody was hiding, which they talked about at the end, was the whole that Savannah, this little trouble that's not really a trouble, sister wife situation is, there's going to be some animosity, it's going to be some jealousy, and things are definitely going to get a little spicy. So, it could definitely be interesting. But it looks like Parker definitely got himself into a little bit of a pickle, So we'll see how this goes down when Savannah arrives, which she is arriving like right now in this episode. So yeah, that's pretty much episode 1. We will go ahead and talk about episode 2.